have known we wanted to be part of God's heart for the orphans and to adopt. And when we met and started dating, that was something that we talked about. And after our second son was born, he was about 6 months old, and I was able to attend the Hope for 100 conference and went to a breakout session about foster parenting. And God really used that to get a hold of me and say, this is what I'm calling you to do. You have to get to the point where it's not about you, it's not about what's convenient, what's not convenient. You just have to get to the point where you're willing to really lay your family on the line to sacrifice, to share the gospel through taking care of orphans.
We got connected with a Methodist Children's Home. They worked really well around our schedule. They were able to come to our home and do our training and a lot of our licensing work here in our home, which worked perfect with little kids. We were concerned about our little kids having to be in childcare for long Saturdays. It just worked really well for our family, for them to be able to work around our schedule and help us get licensed. Very shortly after getting licensed, a little boy was placed in our home, and we've had him ever since. We are really excited about the opportunity of maybe becoming his forever home.
Now, we've had not only our placement, we had one little girl that we had for several months and then was reunited with family, but we've done respite for other families, and our boys have just welcomed these kids in and been great. But we knew that we wanted to grow our family, and so now we're just waiting to see what God has for us. Ultimately, we would love to adopt. That is our heart. We're just waiting on hopefully getting to adopt our son and maybe more children down the line. One thing that I'm asked a lot is, what is it like when a placement leaves? And how do you do that? How does your heart handle that? And I will say that when our little girl left, it was the hardest thing that I've ever had to do was say goodbye to her, and my heart broke. But I just cling to this truth that I will never regret loving too much, but I think that I would regret not loving enough.
It's been fun for me to see in my own life how God has used the parallel of adoption just to show my condition before Him, and just to see that these kids are in situations where they have no control over their own destiny. It was hard for us when we first got this little girl. She came to us and she just didn't smile very much. She didn't have much going her way, and it was just so interesting to see. It was so fun to see what the joy of Christ and the love that He has in our lives kind of manifested over to her, and just to see as she's leaving and to see her smile and giggle and roll around the floor with our boys. It's just fun to see, and it's fun to have our family be a part of making a difference in her life, even if it was only for a season.
It is a sacrifice, and it is hard. It's not easy, but I know, and I've seen over and over again, that God equips us as we walk in obedience.
It's been great for me to see the parallel of the gospel in my own life as these kids come and they don't have anything to bring to the table, but yet they're taken care of by foster families or potentially even adopted by families, and just to see the living example of what God does for us and how He takes us from a situation where we don't have anything to bring to the table. We have no destiny of our own, and He's able to rescue us and redeem us and call us sons. And just to see that picture lived out in life has really been meaningful.
Just so many ways that I have just become aware of, like Chad said, my brokenness and the fact that I can't bring anything to the table. There's nothing special about me that makes me a good mom and a good foster mom, that it's all Christ coming through me that ministers to these kids.
Fostering has been such a great opportunity for our family. It's been great to see how it's made us as parents more selfless. It's been great to see how it makes our kids more selfless, how our kids, even at their young age, are willing to jump in and help take care of things or help bring a bottle when it's time. It's been a valuable experience for our family, and I'm so grateful. I feel like there are so many aspects to it and so many things that we're still learning and that we're still figuring out We're so excited about the God's Heart for the Orphan Conference here in our area. I'm excited to hear Dr. Purvis talk about just her wisdom and the knowledge that God has given her about how to deal with these situations and how to help these kids and how really to show them that God loves them when they have a hard time understanding what that love can feel like. So we're excited to be there, and we'd love for you to come and be there with us.
Never been here before. I'm intrigued, I'm unsure. I'm searching